Welcome everybody to another edition of Lindy Stamp Gang 101 videos. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the different mediums that you can use with your Lindy Stamp Gang sprays. So I'm going to use the same one throughout the video, and I have prepped 4 different surfaces, and I'm going to go through what these surfaces are. This one right here is just a regular gesso, okay? Now it's just fluid gesso. Now this one right here is coated with super heavy gesso. This one right here is got absorbent ground, okay, which is used for watercolors, okay. And then last but not least, we've got the modeling paste, as well as one tag just without anything. Okay, and I'm going to spray each surface and show you how it reacts. First thing to note, you can go ahead and actually shake this bottle. You don't have to do some like weird swirling or anything like that. Just shake, and you don't have to worry about clogging. Now what you're going to do is you're going to spray your tag. This is just has nothing on it. It's just a straight tag, and you can see it coats it. It's really vibrant, okay, and it'll soak right through. I'm going to let this, without heat setting it, I'm just actually going to let it dry just as is, and then come back once it's dry to show you the vibrancy, okay. So here it is, the dry tag is done, and as you can see, for those of you that don't know, our sprays are two-toned, so at least the Starbursts are. We also have the flat Fabios, which are just flat, so they do have no shimmer, but they're just as vibrant. Now, as you can see, the vibrancy in the tag without any sort of medium is just incredible, and it doesn't warp it. I did actually use my heat gun a little bit, and because what I wanted you to see is with the heat gun how you can really manipulate the two-tone effect and create these really fabulous looking shadows and puddles on the page. If you don't use the heat gun, you'll find that it's more flat and you'll just have more of this type of effect. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next tag, and the next tag has, it just simply has light, just regular gesso, fluid gesso on it, and this is what it looks like when you spray it and you dry it. So here is the gessoed surface sprayed, okay, and you can see I left it even just a little bit wet. I did use my heat gun because I wanted to show you what amazing effects the heat gun does and the gesso with our sprays has together. You notice that the color was not necessarily, it did not bead off, it did not repel, which pretty much every single spray in the industry does. Ours is a little bit different. We have a very special concoction for ours, which is really awesome. And ours is a permanent ink. Therefore, it has a little bit of a different effect with mediums than anything else you see out in the industry. And in fact, you know, some people ask, does it lose its vibrancy? Not at all. I think in fact it got slightly darker, which is pretty cool. This is the non-gessoed surface tag, and this is the gesso tag. So you can do some pretty funky effects. Again, if you don't use your heat gun, you will get more of a flat just color, and you won't have to worry about, if you don't like these little funky effects, you don't have to worry about them. That's how you do it with the heat gun. Next surface that we're going to do is I've taken super heavy gesso. So it's a gesso that is a little bit heavier, okay? And I'm going to do the exact same thing. So here's the tag nice and dry, and you can see I kind of let it dry without, oops, I'm sorry, without the heat gun. So did it lose its vibrancy? Maybe a little bit. You can see a little bit more grit on it because it's super heavy gesso. You can see the two tones, which is really cool. So I'll show you them all side by side for a moment so that you can take a look. So probably this is a little bit more vibrant, slightly less vibrant, or you know, certain areas even more. And then that's kind of the difference with the super heavy gesso. You can see that right there. Now you still see it, which is really cool, but it just has a little bit more grit. Now, we have 2 more mediums, and the next medium is the absorbent ground used for watercolors. And so this is what it looks like. It's quite absorbent, so almost like watercolor paper. So it will grip this spray, you know, really, really well. Here's what the tag looks like after it's dry. I helped it with a heat gun just a little bit in the end. But what you'll notice is that it has a little bit more of a unison color coding, which is really cool. And what's also great about it, because it has some grit and absorbency, then you can continue adding layers to it. If you feel like the first layer is too light for you, you can add a second layer, almost like watercolor paper would allow you to do, which is really cool. So here they are once again, side by side, so you can kind of see the differences between them. Okay. And then last but not least, I wanted to show you how to use it with modeling paste. So it's nice and hard and gritty, and certain areas are even exposed, so you'll get to see the difference between that. Okay, so here we go. So here it is, completely dry. Check out this coating. I mean, wowzers, right? So really, it coats it really, really well. We often get asked how our sprays react with certain mediums, so I thought this was the perfect way to showcase all the different mediums, and that our sprays do not lose their vibrancy with different mediums, which is so, so cool. So here, once again, this one's a little wet, is you have your tag that has nothing in it, regular gesso, super heavy gesso, absorbent ground, and modeling paste. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.